Hello and welcome to Flooring Models Kit View Time. Today we've got Meng's latest release. This is the 1/35th scale Mastiff 2. And boy, what a lump it actually is. So anyway, as you can see, down in the box, nice bit of box art there showing the Mastiff. We've got a couple of pictures on the other side. So we say full of armour, as you might imagine on this one, right the way around. And a bit more in there. And the box is a really thick, deep box. So your kit number for this one is, whilst I remember it, is SS012. So in the box we are greeted, and it is absolutely stuffed completely to the top. Alright, so we've got the usual blunt sheet. Alright, and then we've got various panels. We've got obviously all of that sort of bar armour on the side to go through. We've got some plastic bits. It's a funny colour plastic. It's like a grey plastic, which I don't think we've really seen from Meng. Not this shade. It's usually a darker shade. We've got that V-shaped hull. We've got some of the actual wheels and tyres just down in there. And then we've got axles. And as you can probably gather by the amount of sprues that are involved here, we've actually got a very, very detailed kit. As you can imagine, there's lots of stuff down in here. Multiple sprues in each one. We've got some quilting down in there, which is quite nice. We've got all the seats for the interior. So yes, this is obviously a full interior, full fidelity type kit. All right the way through. And then last up, we've actually got the vehicle itself and all the tyres just down in there. And then down in the bottom here, we've got the pack that goes with this. So we've got the decals and the bits and pieces in the back. So in here, get all of this out easily. Get out the decals and the photo etch. So we've got a little bit of photo etch as well. And we've got the book, and we've got these sheets as well, the info sheets down in here. Multiple languages, obviously designed for a filing system, which is very nice indeed. All right, so as always, we'll start off in the instructions. So, usual bits and pieces about making a model. Full colour instructions, again, very nice indeed to see this. So as you can see, what we're talking about, obviously full fidelity means you've got all the interior and the externals, all the running gear has got to be built up right the way through as well. So suspension, all the underside stuff going on there, all the running gear, as you can imagine, being fitted down in here, all the protection systems being fitted underneath, and then obviously we've got all the boxes going to go underneath for the fuel tanks. Again, it's all fully armoured, ready to go. We've got hubs and tyres, and we've seen those. We've got rubber tyres as well to be fitted, which is very nice. Then it's off into the interior, so fully fitted out, full interior as well, with all the seats. And the bits and pieces down in there. Obviously, we've got the dash and all the rest of it for the details being fitted in, and then a case of putting that interior onto that lowish sort of chassis. Then we've got the sides going on, so we've got all the side seating being fitted down into this one, the various parts. We've got that quilted headliner, again, which looked very nice. We've just seen that as well, being mounted onto the roof. We've got the roof ring being fitted on there as well. And then we've got the grills being fitted in there, the radiators, things like that. Then we've got the sides of the seats being done in there, and all the other smaller components down onto the inside. We've got all that protection system as well for the glass and the various areas at the front being fitted. As I say, very, very thick panels being fitted down into there, and then obviously all the various small parts and details. Then obviously we've got the top and bottoms going on front, and then all the parts being fitted in. And then as you imagine, you're just equipping the full outside. So we've got all of the wheel arches being fitted with all the sort of, the intakes and various things on there just like that. Then you've got the armour. So again, it's layer upon layer with this kit. So you've got that thick protective armour onto the sides of it. Those are being fitted. Then we've got the grille systems being all fitted. We've got some options in here for opening up some of the hatches, various bits like that. We've got the rear protection system being fitted in there. And then we've got the top turret obviously being going through with it just like that. So you've got a nice 50 up onto the roof, the various bits being on there. And then next stage of the armour, you've got the bar armour being fitted right the way around it again. So it is all sort of modular how it's being fitted onto this one. So all of those being fitted amongst it, as you can imagine. We've got the exhaust system up over the roof. And then again, you've got options for open and close for the doors at the back. A couple of large antennas as well. So you've got some big whip antennas up there to be fitted on. Then obviously down here at the back, you've got your options. So we've got a desert one just down in here, or we've got one sort of in the olive drab as well. So obviously this one cashing in a little bit, shall we say, but the Ukrainian one. So we've got that one down in there, as well as obviously the usual British one down like that. So that's very nice indeed. Then we've got some of these small little parts, which we won't bother getting these out so much, but we've got some of the equipment for the decals at the back, and we've got some nice grills and bits and pieces just showing down in there as well. So that's a really nice touch with this one. Then we've actually got the, get this out of here without making a total mess, staples with the actual main body. And again, by the time you've got everything on this, it's going to be huge, big old lump. So we've got some polycaps, as you might imagine, usual thing. We've got some tyres, and weirdly we've got the 50 just stuck in there. So I imagine this is some type of, no, it is just injection molded, but I'm surprised it's just here with this. But there we go, so that's down there. Tyres, and again, we will just have a quick look at a tyre, perhaps, because again, it looks like it's got some nice sidewall details down in these. So you might not just have to run straight away for some aftermarket replacements, but you've got some really nice sidewall detail down in there, and we've got a little bit of wording on there for Michelin's as well, so that's not too bad at all. No nasty centre seam in the tyre either, so that's actually very nice indeed. All right, so then we've actually got the main upper part of the body, so it gives you an idea for the size. Again, nothing on because everything bolts onto this, but you can see very, very nicely done indeed. Nothing really on the inside either, because again, we're going to be filling that out, but it gives you a good idea of the size on this. So, you know, you're probably looking with everything on around about 33 centimeters once this thing is all made up. But again, that actually looks very, very nice indeed. All right, so we'll keep some of that somewhat safe because we don't want to lose that 50. Okay, so then we're going to go back queuing. So in here we've got the clear parts, which amazingly are just running loose. I'm surprised these are just floating around in here loose, but we can have a proper look. And as you imagine, they are just flat glass, so it's pretty much clear, no problem at all with any of those. So we'll just keep those nicely safe. Then we've got the actual parts here. So this is sprue K, and again, looks very nice. And this is that side armor. So again, if we come in this way, you can see nice detail on the side armor right the way through. And again, all looks very nice. Got the eyelets as well down in here. It looks like may have lost one. So again, that's a little bit of a shame the way these have all been put together. But as I say, I didn't see one missing out of the bag. But as I say, just be careful when you are removing it from said bag. So anyway, we've got all of that one just there. Next up, we've got some of the quilting and other items down in here. So again, we've got, this is sprue F, very nice. And that quilting is a really nice touch on the top there. I really do like that. It's got some real 3D into it. So again, it's one of these things, you're making up lots of little parts. So there's that quilting. Again, looks very, very nice indeed. And then obviously some of the other parts running down here. We've got the rear doors, the rear part as well, as you can see, so no problem with that. No ejector pin issues. They're pretty much flush or just slightly recessed, which is a nice touch. And again, no real sign of any sort of flash or sink marks and things like that. We've got this little guy here, which is your antennas on sprue Z. So again, very nice. A little bit of burring on them, a little bit of cleanup going to be required, but not too bad at all. So we've got the interior just down in here. This is going to be a matched pair, so I can get one over cover. I don't know if we will. Breaking parts, but there we go. So we've got the seats, and obviously, you know, you've got air ride on the seats and the various things like that. So that's what they are on sprue E. And again, it's a little bit of a shame it's in this lighter colour styrene, because there is, and I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up, but there is texture into all these seats as well. So that's actually really nice. I know it's probably not picking up so well on camera, but again, very nice. Sprue gates are all nice and tight and tiny. So very good job in there. Again, so in here we've got the floor. So back to staples. getting out. So, as you can see, sprue G, again, another very much full sprue. Very nice indeed. And then down in here at the top here, we've got the exhaust, the various parts, folding for the toe-in brackets. Got the internals, that's the cab floor. Again, some nice details right the way over that. It's nice and sharp and crisp. And then over here, some more of those internals. Some of the leaf springs. Looking very, very nice. Again, this is going to be one of these kits where you've got so much detail going on. It's going to be a big old project. Okay, back to bags again. So down in here we've got sprue H and X. So sprue H here again, we've got that top gun, the mountings for it and the various things. I'm just looking for if there's a part missing and it's not. So it looks like they've never actually put the 50 on here. But there is some quite nice details over here. So you've got the armour for the sides. You've got various components just down in there. Got the mount for the 50, but say we've seen the 50 already. And again, the ammunition, nicely done. We can see the link stall down in there. The actual turret itself. So that's actually very nice. And then to go on with that as well, we've got more links of 50 just down in here. And again, I thought you would probably see the 50 here, but it's not. So that's a little bit strange. I would have thought this. So anyway, three types of barrels. So take your pick with that. So why the 50's on the other bit, I'm not too sure. But there we go. That's just down in there. So that's your sprue X. Okay, so back to bags again. Okay, so here we are with sprue B. Again, so pretty much all the running gear down in here for the drives and things like that. So as you can see, very nice details. Cool kit actually, lots of detail in this. Incredible amount of detail, and still it keeps coming. Okay, so down in here we've got that V-shaped hull down at the bottom to protect. So again, this is sprue A. So actually some nice details even down underneath here. It's got a little bit of texture. We've got some of these areas down in here. We've got these louvedour grills, which are nice and clear. So again, and then obviously more armoured parts on the sides. So yeah, not too bad at all. And then down in here we've got some more clear parts. There's no point really getting this out because it's just literally a square and some tiny little bits. Again, so we continue our trip through here. We've got some poly stuff for the harnesses. So we've also got two of these. So this is the harnesses and some of the equipment. Again, I don't know if I'm a fan of the actual poly harnesses because they're, you know, I suppose they'd be alright, but they're not going to naturally sag and hang, perhaps as obviously if you did something metal or 3D printed or something else like that. So again, it's a little bit different. And then we've got, this is the wings and the exhaust and everything, sprue C. And we've obviously got the instrument panel just here. So you can see some nice details down in there. Let's walk this one up from the bottom. Steering wheel, front grille, that exhaust. So again, looking very nice indeed. Then we've got, so we'll do that one last, we'll do this one next. So we've got the front part of the grills and the various bits and pieces down here on sprue J, as you can see, and obviously we've got the sides, the various bits, so obviously front grille looking like a beast, as you might imagine, just down in there as well. So again, looking very, very much the part, and it's nice clear, there's no webbing or anything else in between these. So again, very nice indeed. We've got some clear for the armour glass as well. So depending, we've got that one now. So again, so you've got M and N sprues. So obviously you could do it in clear or you could do it in the armour glass as well. You have got options down in there for doing both, which is a nice touch. And then last up, we've got the bar armour itself. Now, I know it's a little bit like Marmite, this stuff. You either love it or you hate it. Because as I say, we've spoken about this. In some ways, it's nice that it's in photo etch because it's a little bit more sort of scale specific and things like that. But in some ways, if it's a bit chunky like this is, you want it. But what you're looking for is it to be nice and clear and to have a little bit of, you know, sort of 3D-ness into it. It's not just flat or anything else. And to be honest, this actually looks really nice. Some of it's one way, some's the other. So when you look at it, you can see these look absolutely fantastic. This one looks a bit naff, but if you flip him over, you can see it is angled. So it is physically angled just a little bit. So that's why they look a little bit naff. But generally, as you can see, there's no webbing. There's no problem between any of them. And to be honest with you, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier to do this than it would be to mess around in photo etch or anything else like that. So from my point of view, that's a bit of a no-brainer. Wow. Okay. What you've got here is a full detailed, full fidelity kit. You've got all the interior, you've got everything else. The only thing you're actually missing, to be honest, is the engine. There's no actual engine work into this, but you've got everything else that goes with it. So it's not going to be a shake and bake, just pop it together and away you go. It's going to be a lot of time invested into it. And you can see it's piling up even down in here. You saw how many sprues are involved with this one. So it's going to be a long-term project build on this one to make your way right the way through. But boy, will it be worth it. So anyway, it's really nice to see the Mastiff actually up and running now. Obviously, we've seen the US one, but we haven't actually seen the Mastiff done before. So really nice to see that. So anyway, that's Meng's 1/35 scale Mastiff 2.